and I'll show you how to search. So I'm going to, this is a simple search. Like this is where you'd put a keyword uh, like geology. And there's everything that has something to do with geology. Which, these are pretty cool books. And you have these uh, these different subject headings that you can look for. Whether you want to look for a book or a DVD, you can click on one of these. All of these are, well, not all of them. You can search for things that are in specifically on here. You can do another search within this, like if I wanted to put field guide, it should just show me the field guides. That narrows it down. Now you can sort, if I go back, you can sort by relevance, you sort by title, and if there's a "the" in front, it'll uh, it'll use the first word after "the" to go by. That's why the Earth is after "Be a Geologist" and before fossils. And then you can you can sort by author, copyright date, or call number, which the call number is really handy because that's the order they're in the library. And if you click on one of these, you can go, okay, so here's the title, the author, what material it is, the call number, which is very important to note if you're wanting to look for a book, because that tells you exactly where it is using the Dewey Decimal System. And if you can't find it that way, you can just come ask one of us librarians and say, "Hey, this says it's in, and you need to make sure it does say it's in. Right here, it says in at main library." So you'd come to us and say, "Hey, this book says it's in. I've looked over in the 550s. I can't find it. Can you help me?" And we'll go see if we can find it. Because sometimes they get put out of order and it's hard to find. Now, this gives you the ISBN. So if you wanted to look up this book, like on Amazon, if you really liked a book and you wanted to look for it on Amazon, you could actually use that ISBN number. You can go over to Amazon or do a Google search, and it'll pull up that number and pull up that book, which is really cool. ISBN stands for International Standard Book Number, I believe, and every book has its own ISBN number. Now, if you go to Holdings, you can see, okay, it's in the main library. Like for a lot of other libraries, they'll have like 5 or 6 branches, like Tulsa, and that you can see, oh, it's in this one. So for us, we just have our little library. So it's in the main library and in this spot. And if we had multiple copies of it, it would show you, oh, this copy's here and this copy's here. And that's its barcode. And then that just means it's checked in. And then if you look at one that's checked out, you can look and under holdings, and it'll tell you when it's due back. So you can come check again. And let's say you wanted to reserve it. So you just click reserve. And it'll say, hey, are you sure you want to reserve this? And you click OK. And it'll tell you, yeah, we've got it on your list. So you come over here to My Items. And now this little thing has popped up saying you have one item reserved. And it shows you. And from here, if you decide you don't want to reserve, you don't want to have it reserved anymore, or if you're not going to get a chance to read it anytime soon or something, then you click cancel. And it'll take it off for you. Now, I'll show you how to do an advanced search. So here, you can search by keyword, author, series title, subject title, call number, copyright date, or any of these. ISBN. Now, I'm going to search for series title. And if you click contains, that's usually that, like if you search one word, it'll pick up anything that has that word in the series title slot. And if you have begins with, it'll begin with that word, or ends with, it'll end with that. So if you're like, okay, I know this series starts with with Percy, but I can't remember what it is. If you're looking for Percy Jackson and the Olympians or something. And if you click exact substring, it'll take that. Like if, let's go with Percy Jackson again. If you just put Percy Jackson, then it'll search for anything that has that. And you can actually add more things, like if the title started with lightning, if you were looking specifically for the lightning thief or something like that. And you can tell it, oh, I just want the movie, or I just want the books, or if I want an audio book, that's audio CD, you can go from there. You click search, and it'll show you, oh, this is what we have for Percy Jackson. That starts with Percy Jackson, which this is the series Percy Jackson and the Last Olympian, and the Olympians. Sorry, the Last Olympian is the last book. And you can go, oh, okay. And you can add to book bag. That's what this little plus sign is. And now, my books to read has one book. That's The Lightning Thief. And this little green dot is another indicator that it's in. And you can see for these, we've put the title, the cover art up so you can see that, which is actually very helpful for finding the book sometimes, because there's sometimes you think you know what a book looks like and then you can't find it because you had the wrong color or something. And you can look at that and go, oh, okay. Here's the rundown of it, the summary. And if we have different holdings for it, we can have it in here in juniors, and you can reserve it, anything like that. And from here, you can reserve or add the book bag. You can like it, which if you do Facebook, that I'm not really sure what that'll do. What I'm guessing it'll do is, if you like the book, you click like, and this will show this little zero means nobody's liked it yet, and that'll show how many people have read it and liked the book. And that's if you have a lot of likes, then a lot of people like the book, and you say, "Oh, that's probably a pretty good book. I want to give it a whirl." Which this is a very good book, by the way. And this is our mark record, and it gives you the rundown, and it's a classification. So that's most of what you'd use. You can click home and go back to home. Media, you can search by audiobooks, DVDs, ebooks. Visual search, you can click on that tab and have all these materials by type, award winners, general interests, recent editions, and search by classification. So this is mostly for nonfiction. So for the Dewey Decimal System, you have each number means something, and it's going from general to most specific. So 100s is philosophy and psychology, religion is 200s, social science is 300s, language is 400s, natural science and math is 500s. And you can look at a call number. For instance, if you had like 540, you go, okay, 500s, that's science, math and science. 540s is chemistry, and then 0 is just general. So 540 is just general chemistry. And then like 0.76 is a little, I think it's education and then something else. And there's actually a website you can use called Library Thing. You can go to librarything.com/mds/0, and that is very good at explaining. Once it pulls up, that's very good at showing what everything means. So 500s is natural science and math, 54 is chemistry, 540 is general chemistry, 540.7 is education and research, and then 6 is exams. And if you look at this book, it's a Cliff's Quick Review, which is very good for, it's another dumbed down chemistry. Here's how it works kind of thing. It looks like we actually have 2 copies of it. And if we have, so that's and this shows everything that's in the 500s, 540s that we have. Now, if you go back to visual and you want recent editions, That'll show you what's the most recent that what we've added in the last month, I think. Which we've got a new section for teaching resources, like homeschool teaching resources, or if you're a teacher at school and you want to use them, then it's very good. Like we have some new geography workbooks and stuff like that. You can just go through and look through all this. And then if you go back to visual, go to general interests, and you can look, you need some reference or primary source or just fiction. And then you can use this search within and it'll just give you fiction. Or if you search by call number and start it off with F, that'll be fiction. That's our adult fiction section. Young adult fiction is just YA. Junior fiction is just J. And then you can go to award winners and click, I want a book that's won the Newbery. And it'll give you a list of what we have that has won the Newbery. So that's really cool. And if you want materials by type, you look, I want, I don't think we have any more audio cassettes. I want a DVD. And it gives you what DVDs we have. And you can do the same thing. You can search within and narrow it down, or go, I just want children's DVDs, which we have more than 4. And if you come up here, you have the number of pages. You can go to the next page. You can go to the last page, which is the double arrow, or the first page, previous page. You can add everything to the book bag. You can change the view, which it's in list view right now. You can change it to grid view. And once we have everything with its cover art, that will be better for grid view. And you can print the list. There's another question mark. Say, hey, this is what this is. And that's pretty much it. There's these, like if you're on your phone, you can switch to this. For kids, they have their own little catalog system that's more geared for kids. It's more colorful and interactive. And then there's a Spanish translation. And if you click on the kids thing, it's way more colorful. And you can search. It's a bit more interactive. If you want to search for nature, you give okay, what kind of nature do you want to search for? I'll look for dinosaurs. And it'll show everything we have geared for children that have to do with dinosaurs. And it's really, really neat. And it shows kind of what all you clicked on. You can search here. You can do a simple search. You can look at your book bag. If one of your kids has a book bag on here. And you can switch back to the main catalog. So that's pretty much it. So I really encourage you all to hop on here and play around with it, get to know it a little bit, because this is a really, really nice resource. Even just so you can look at your fines and fees. You can look what you have checked out. If you check out a ton of books at a time, it really helps to keep that straight. And if you want to suggest a book to us, then that's an easy way to do it. And it's that part alone is very helpful to us. Again, so we can see what you want and not just, oh, this is what's hot right now. Because we really do value your opinions on what we need in the library and what books you like to read. So hop on here, play around with this, get familiar with OPAC, and hope to see you at the library. Have a nice day.